Good Thursday afternoon, everybody. My name is Eli Robinson. I am the Chief Trivia Officer here at Water Cooler Trivia. Water Cooler Trivia is the English-speaking world's premier place for companies, organizations, groups, etc. to come together, play a trivia game every week, stay connected, learn what your coworkers know, what they don't know, hopefully not make fun of them too much. You can find us online at watercoolertrivia.com. We have all our games up there. We have a 4-week free trial, so you can try it out for yourself, your company, whatever it may be. You can find me online at Chief Trivia Officer. You can find me on LinkedIn. You can find me on TikTok and wherever else the kids are these days. Let's jump into this week's game. So we had 4,490 users, fewer than last week. I am recording this video on a Thursday as opposed to doing it on a Friday. So after tomorrow, we would expect the numbers to be up where we would normally see them. An average of 7.74, a little bit lower than we had last week, but around that sweet spot for what we want. Median of 8, which is our most common score. I will say the distribution this week was absolutely wild. So as you guys know who have watched these videos previously, we generally see the largest and highest incidence of scores of a 9, followed by 8 or 10, but a little bit of a standard-ish distribution. This week we saw far and away the most popular score is a perfect 10, followed by 9 all the way as you head down. This is weird. This is rare. We've only had this happen one other time. You'll see when we get to question 10, this was one of those meta games where ultimately if you got question 10 right, that would have been a very, very large hint to all the other answers. So what we think happened was people probably had a standard performance, got to number 10, realized the theme, and then went back and answered. This was incredibly interesting and certainly something that we've been talking about amongst the trivia team here at Water Cooler. Let's jump into the questions. Questions number 1. A standard courtroom setting has attorneys, juries, bailiffs, stenographers, and what rogue profession responsible for governing the trial at hand? That would be judges. 98% correct. Our quizmaster told me that I couldn't ask that question because it was too easy. And, it turns out he was probably right. Question number 2, Marvin Gaye and Helen Reddy lent $25,000 to help a friend open a cookie store in Hollywood. What was this friend's last name that he also lent to the rhyming brand of his famous product? That would be Wally Amos. Famous Amos cookies, 87% correct. In a standard deck of English pattern playing cards, which group of royals seeds spades, clubs, and diamonds, holding a weapon parallel to the body, while hearts' weapon disappears behind the head? That would be kings, affectionately known as the suicide king. Would have expected that one to be a little bit higher, but 67% correct. I guess playing cards or perhaps English pattern threw people off. Just didn't elect to include the word suicide king in there, but that probably would have gotten people a little closer. Number 4, this September, Harry Styles had a banner raised in Madison Square Garden to commemorate a 15-night run at the venue during his most recent tour. Well, that's certainly a lot. What's the last name of piano man William, who currently holds the record for most total shows in MSG with over 120? That would be William Joel, aka Billy Joel, 75% correct. Yes, we included William as a bit of a red herring to take you off the scent, but I would imagine for a lot of you, Piano Man probably got you there. Question number 5, readers first had the opportunity to visit C.S. Lewis's Narnia in 1950 in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, but it wouldn't be until later that the collection of all the works in the series were referred to by what collective C word? That would be Chronicles, the Chronicles of Narnia, 82% correct. Question number 6, what is the first name of television and radio Dr. Westheimer, who didn't begin her media career as Grandma Freud until age 82 in 1980 when she began fielding listeners' calls about topics that had traditionally been taboo on traditional media channels? That would be Dr. Ruth. Probably our favorite answer of the week this week was someone said, it's Dr. Ruth, but I don't know her first name. That made us laugh a lot, of course, because her first name is Ruth. Question number 7, when you compare the Microsoft Office suite to Apple's iWork software, Word is to Pages, PowerPoint is to Keynote, and Excel is to what program named after the part of a keyboard traditionally found below the F keys? That would be Numbers, Apple Numbers. Question number 8, what is the name of the type of yucca tree that's native to the American Southwest and lends its name to a California national park east of Los Angeles and Palm Springs? That would be Joshua tree. Apparently, they're not trees, they're bushes, which is why we put tree in quotation marks. But ultimately, Joshua tree is what we were looking for. Question number 9. You're only supposed to blow the bloody doors off is Michael Caine's signature line from a 1969 British heist film remade with Mini Coopers and all in 2003, titled The Italian Job. The Italian Job, 86% correct. All right, as I mentioned, we had a trivia theme and a metagame this week. So question number 10, put it all together and what do you get? The answers to questions 1 through 9 are each an installment of what larger work? So if you see here, I have them written down here: Judges, Amos, Kings, Joel, Chronicles, Ruth, Numbers, Joshua, and you can pronounce it Job, although you can also pronounce it Job. Those would, of course, be the books of the Old Testament. We counted books of the Bible, Torah, Tanakh, like anything. We did not count New Testament, as ultimately these are not books of the New Testament. Technically, the Torah is only the first 5 books, but that was close enough for us. Numbers was in there. We had a really good time with this when we wrote down a lot of like various books of the Bible and tried to fit in questions. The only word that we the only answer that we really didn't use that we thought about using was Genesis. Like the band Genesis or To Begin or whatever it may be, because we thought that were a Hyundai Genesis. That might have been a little too much giveaway, but otherwise we really enjoyed putting all this together. 58% of people correct. So as we mentioned, what we think happened is, people got 7 or 8 of them and then got to this one like, oh my God, they're all books of the Bible. And then we're able to reverse engineer what they were supposed to be. Here's the question by question performance. Pretty expected. I would have expected Kings to be a little bit higher, but otherwise really, really happy with how this goes. Here are, that was last one, but there are the performance from the weeks before. Really, really cool that how many people got a perfect score, and really, really happy that people enjoyed it. Once again, my name is Eli Robinson. I am the Chief Trivia Officer here at Water Cooler Trivia. Check us out at watercoolertrivia.com. Bring this to your company. We have a 4-week free trial, and we'd love to see you next week. Keep tripping on.